Hello, this is Stuart Fleming. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to use execute with parameters to create a search form where we can designate which fields we want to search on. You can see here that I have a very simple model with the employees entity and the employees view, and these guys aren't even necessary, frankly, because I'm just using the employees table right here and employees view, and that's it. So first thing that we're going to do, though, is we're going to create the view criteria, and we'll do it on creating a department ID equals, and we'll set it to a bind variable, and we'll name this P, and you can probably leave this as a string, but the value, I believe, is a number. And we're not setting it to required because it's not written here in the query where clause. And so you can see that that's been set. And let's change this to department ID view criteria. Save it. Refresh the data control. Come over here and you can see that it's got the execute with params and the one parameter here. Let's do another view criteria, and this time we're going to do not that but hire date, and we want to do between. So now you suddenly have two of these guys, and it's automatically setting to that, but obviously we don't want to use that one. And we'll set it as a from date, and this one to date, okay. Now I did make a mistake here because I did this here, I made it as a string, so you can come back here and just change it up to a date. And I don't think I need to change it to an expression, but okay. So now let's open up our imps.jsf. I don't think there's anything on here. I don't think I need to do much here, but let's put a decorative box in there, and we'll change the decorative box to a height of 150. Okay, so let's refresh this now. Refreshing our data control is important after making any changes that we do to the model, because now you can see that it's got the other two here. And what we're going to do is just drag this up and create a parameter form. And you can see that it automatically pulls in the fields that we wanted. It's got a button here, okay, and the button doesn't have partial submit, which I'm surprised at, but what we're going to do is we're going to drag this table over. We can do single row. Save it, and let's just click on the table, and you can see that it's got the partial triggers here, and it's got these two colons, which I believe indicates that it is in a separate kind of a separate component, layout component, but I'm not exactly sure because sometimes I see it with no colons, and other times I see it with multiple colons. Okay, so let's run this. To undeploy it first, and just start it, and I'll pause it for a second. Okay, here we have our view. I'm going to just do a search on 90, and it won't work, but it does refresh. So you can see that it's re-executing the query, but it didn't work, and that's because we didn't set something in particular. So let me go over here and show you. Now this was kind of sneaky of them because they put that over here. You have to press edit to get to it, and then you have these guys over here, and you just need to shuttle them over And now they're going to be selected, and you can see that the view criteria is enabled. We don't even have to refresh any of the things. I am going to refresh the data control just in case, because we did make a change to the model. But we can just undeploy that and rerun it, and it should be fine. I like this particular type of search better than the one that comes with the search panel or other forms that I've shown you in previous videos, because this gives you better control. You can decide which fields you want, and you can make it as tiny or as elaborate as you want. And there's no coding. It's very simple to do. The other thing about it is that we've put two different searches in there. And you can choose, you don't even have to select any of them. So let's do a quick search on 90 here. Execute with params, it'll show anybody with 90. Okay, so you can see that that works. And actually, I'm going to do something with a few more people in it so we can do a better search here. Let's do 50's got a lot of people. And basically what I want to do here is do a date search, obviously, since we're testing that. Here's 2005, and we'll just do it 1 year ahead. From date, to date, change that to a 6. There we go. Now we're going to take the 50 off. And we get everybody who should hopefully be within those area dates. And let's just take this off to see what happens when we do it. There we go. Now it's interesting, it didn't say the to date is required, it just says hire date is required, but I think it's pretty clear what went wrong. So that is how to do it. So let's just quickly review. First of all, what we did was we created the view criteria, and that was simple by going in here and declaratively providing the value and then creating the parameter based on the bind variable, and we set it to equals. Then we went over here, and I actually didn't even rename this. Normally you'd want to name it something more intelligible. But this, we also set the bind variables. I'm going to go in the opposite order, the order you should do it in. I set these in the application module. Okay, and that then, when you go onto the form, you would then refresh your data control. Always refresh. Come over here, drag the execute with parameters, and just pop it in as a parameter form. Okay. Then put your table in. Now, if your table's already in, all you need to do is then make sure that it is referencing in the partial triggers area. I can't even find it now. Okay, hold on, I'm not even in the right field. Come over to your structure, click on tables, and then put in the partial triggers. And you can do that by the, edit, I think. Yeah, here you go. And if it's not already there, you would just come down to the facet and choose the command date. Put that in there like that, and there you have it. So that's very simple to do. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. Have a good night.